Sul state is home to almost 1.5 million people, but its streets are silent as they fill with brown floodwater. Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva brought most of his cabinet on a trip to the affected region on Sunday to discuss rescue efforts and reconstruction. Lula also said the government is working on a plan to prevent what he called climate accidents.
We need to stop chasing misfortune. We need to anticipate what could happen.
The floods have been raging for a week, triggered by torrential rain. More than 100,000 people have been displaced. Emergency crews are still struggling to rescue trapped residents, with the floods reaching metres high.
There's a lot of water. On the lower side of the city, the boats are already at the level of the electricity poles. We have to cut the power grid to be able to cross in these places.
Rio Grande do Sul's governor says this is the worst natural disaster in the state's history, but it follows several other major floods in the last year alone and a growing trend of extreme weather events across Brazil.
Well, for more details, let's go straight to journalist Gustavo Basso, who joins us now from Porto Alegre in the south of Brazil. Now, what more can you tell us about the situation in Rio Grande do Sul, where you are right now?
Well, the disaster is absolutely unbelievable. When we get here, we get the dimension of how big and how powerful the water flow is. Right now, we are here in downtown Porto Alegre. Everything is empty. Behind me, it looks like a lake, but used to be streets and avenues. And there's so many people being affected. There are so many people in their houses without the possibility of leaving them or not wanting to leave them, fearing that they got robbed or something like that. It's terrible. It's impressive.
Do you think the worst is over now, or is more rain expected?
I would say the worst is not over yet, because we are expecting more rain, not only in Porto Alegre, but also in the countryside by Wednesday. And the problem is, Porto Alegre is a region where very many rivers flow. So if in the head of these rivers there is too much rain, all this water comes to the city and it's gonna rise again. So the forecast is that by Wednesday, starting raining again, and the worst is not over at all.
So do you think the government has appropriate plans to help the people?
Mostly the help is coming from volunteers that are rescuing people. They get people from all over the country with boats, jet skis, whatever help they can get. And many volunteers are also helping on the refugees in schools, churches, universities. But the demand is so big that the government alone cannot do much. And they look kind of a little lost with so many demands that they don't know which one to treat first. So it's a little overwhelming. That's the impression.
Now, President Lula da Silva has apparently said that he wants to prevent disasters like this. Are people taking that seriously?
People are very critical right now because of nothing really was done after the last floods that happened 8 months ago. There was a lot of money and budget to do something to prevent situations like that, but nothing really was made. Perhaps the government was expecting not to happen so fast and so sudden again. But many ministers were in Porto Alegre yesterday also talking about how they are going to destinate a lot of the budget, a lot of money to prevent these situations. But the situation is that they don't have actually a real project for this kind of thing.
The journalist Gustavo Basso there reporting from Porto Alegre for us. Thank you very much, Gustavo.